Hey y'all, this is my review for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. It feels like I just did a review for this, but I just realized that it came out so damn late, so here I am now. I'm waiting for my edible to kick in, so about 15 minutes into this video, you should be able to see a difference. Anywho, it's still hard to review this franchise with everything that's going on, y'all, but I'm gonna power right through it. I'm not sure how many episodes we have left. We probably have 2 more eps left and then a reunion, hopefully, and then we can take a break from all this. But let's get into it. So they left off last week on a cliffhanger of Meredith storming out once Jen got into her face. You know, love ya baby, bye. Something along those lines. And then we see that Meredith came back outside as Jen is talking to everybody else. Jen tells the whole table, I done nothing to Meredith. You can hear Meredith, like just laughing. I'm like, it has to be a combination of the pills and the wine. It's not either or, it's a combination. But yeah, so Meredith basically makes her way back to the table, talking back and forth with Jen. And Jen is wondering like, I did nothing to you. And then she brings up the private investigator again. And then she gets Jenny the racist in it too. She says like, well, she told me you hired a private investigator. And then Jenny's like, oh my God, I didn't do, what, Again, Jenny, you knew what you were dealing with. You should have just mind your business and not be trying to like play telephone with this. So now you have Jen yelling at you. So in the midst of the argument, it looks like Jen apologized to Meredith because she got the wrong information from Jenny. So then Jen still wants to know from Meredith, like, why are you treating me like this? Why didn't you even go on the bus because I was on the bus? She said, I apologize to your son, Brooks. What else is there? What else? And then Meredith tells her, well, you know there is something else, but I don't want to say anything and I don't want to bring it up on camera. Well, she didn't say on camera, but you know, that's what she meant. She didn't want to say it in front of the cameras. So then, you know, the viewers are confused. So production, they cut to Whitney in the confessional giving us some tea, some major tea. So she's telling us that Meredith hooked up with somebody in New York and that somebody also hooked up with Jen Shaw, and she's pissed with Jen because of that. Ooh, and they give us a Shonda Rhimes rewind. So Whitney says she actually brought this to Meredith's attention before. So we rewind all the way back to Vale. Ooh, production, y'all ain't shit. So Whitney asked Meredith at the table, she said, isn't Jen also linked to the guy she gaslit you with? And then Meredith kind of confirmed but didn't. I'm guessing when Meredith was separated from her husband, you know, she was going around New York being a single woman. I mean, this season is almost over. Like, I can't take any more bomb drops, y'all. Like, again, I did not foresee Salt Lake City being this chaotic. It really should be getting more views than it should. But anyway, Whitney decides to bring something up to Meredith at the table. She tells her, well, the fact that you missed out on the bus ride to Vale as well as Zion, it makes it look like you had something to do with Jen getting caught. And Whitney, you sound dumb as hell. I can't say the F word yet. It's too early in the video, but you sound dumb. AF. And I know you smarter than that. And Meredith is lit and high out her mind right now from pills and alcohol. She's just laughing at Whitney. She's like, oh, seriously? Okay. Like a whole Franz Drescher laugh. And it is a joke, Meredith. I'd be laughing just as hard to think that she thought you had anything to do with Jen Shaw getting indicted. Like somebody said on Twitter, Whitney and Heather, they're creating fan fiction right now. And now for the 3rd time, Meredith decides to walk away from the table when she hears Whitney's dumbass claims. I'm thinking 3rd time's the charm. She's actually not gonna come back. So Whitney actually runs behind Meredith to tell her, this is what's being said, Meredith. Like, I didn't make this up. And Meredith, she's still high out her mind. She's just like, oh, well, this is revolting for you to say. She says she is disgusted and she has no friends at that table. Yeah, you're right. None of those women at the table are your friends, including Lisa Barlow. What is going on? It is 6 minutes in. So Whitney is just pleading for her life right now. She feels bad that she just told this to Meredith. She literally jumps in down. I don't know what y'all watching? And I think my edible's kicking in now. Okay, so now I'm thinking Whitney is pretty drunk. So as Meredith goes up the stairs, she's still trying to talk to her. She's like, I just want to know why you guys didn't go on the bus. Cause they didn't fucking want to. That's why. Jesus, like she has to be drunk too. Her eyes are real glassy right now. So now we back at the dinner table with the remaining ladies at the table. Jen just stares at Lisa saying, thanks for having my back tonight. And then Lisa's just like, what did I do? Lisa really just can't win. But she dug her own grave in the beginning of the season. She was trying to do too much. Like she was trying to like manipulate everybody, cause drama, and all that shit just blew up in her face. And if you're wondering what this is some Gold Peak tea. This is my favorite sweet tea. I'm just pretty thirsty right now. So as Lisa's trying to defend herself, Jen asks her, well, was Meredith there for you 100%? Lisa can't answer the question, and now she's getting choked up, and when she's back into a corner, she starts crying. And as Lisa's trying to break down, explaining herself, Jen is like, stop! Yes or no? Like, a narcissist versus a manipulating sociopath. Who will win? Let's find out. Oh my fucking God. If Meredith goes right back out there, that will be her 4th time coming back. She's literally going downstairs again. No. Good night, Meredith. Good night. Go to bed. She really is back at this dinner table. This is a Housewives first. She walked off 3 times and is back for more. So Meredith is letting these bitches have it. Like she's yelling at all of them. I am not feeding information to the FBI. That Bob is swinging as she's talking to all of them. So then she says, I have no information to feed. Meredith is so mad. She says, every time I come around you women, I feel like I'm being attacked. This is so good. So good. Like, I really hope they get Jenny off so I can watch next season. And side note, even if she did feed information to the FBI, that doesn't make her a bad person. That actually makes her a good person for snitching on Jen for conning elderly people. So now Jen asks to the entire table, who is alleging that she's feeding information to the FBI? Nobody cops to it at the table. Well, I didn't. Jen says, you did say it. So now she's throwing Jenny under the bus, saying that she's the one that said that. And I could have sworn Heather and Whitney were the ones stirring that pot. Like, they were the only ones that kept talking about it. Lord have mercy. And Meredith decides to leave again for the 4th time. The 4th walk off. And I think this is it. This is final. She walked out and walked back in 4 times. Anywho, when she finally leaves, Jenny's saying again, I didn't say that. And then Jenny's like, yes, you did. Yes, you did. You're the one that needs to tell her sorry. Jenny is like tongue-tied now when it comes to Jen. She got all this smoke for Mary now, but I need you to have that same smoke for Jen Shaw too. This is so chaotic, y'all. I can't keep up. Maybe I shouldn't have took this edible. But then, like, so Jenny leaves the table because Jen just, like, bit her head off. And then I think Jen throws a lunch, it looked like a lunchbox or her purse at Jenny's chair. And it looks like she's blaming Lisa now for her friend Jenny. And Lisa's now like, again, what did I do? So now Jen storms off in a rage and says, I'm fucking done with this. You leave me the fuck alone. Lisa is rushing after her as Jen's calling her a fucking liar. So then Lisa just gives up. She's like, you know what? I'm not chasing after you. Like, they are going back and forth. So everyone is just mad at each other. The only alliance that is still intact right now is Heather and Whitney. So we're with Meredith right now. She's talking to her son Brooks about what all these women are accusing her of. And you know what? I gotta give credit when credit's due. Like, Brooke told her the same thing I just said. Like, wait a minute, who the fuck cares? Like, she's allegedly defrauding the elderly. We are back at the table again, ladies and gentlemen. They have not ended this dinner. No one wants to go to bed. So we have Lisa, Heather, Whitney, and Mary left at the table. Lisa's complaining to everybody that Jen thinks she's a fucking liar. And then Heather is saying that Jenny didn't deserve that lashing that her best friend Jen gave her. her. So now Lisa is trying to explain herself. Mary is just shaking her head at all of them. And then as Mary's trying to leave, you got Whitney in her face trying to explain herself. And Whitney looks like she is like 4, 5, 8 sheets to the wind right now. It looks like Mary just left, so now it's just Lisa, Heather, and Whitney. And Lisa's the only one talking right now, complaining about how is she the liar now. And then she gets so frustrated, she just leaves too. And now at the table is just Heather and Whitney, who I really believe are the real pot stirrers in all of this. So then we cut to Meredith still talking to Brooks, and then we see Jen eavesdrop into Meredith's room. Meredith sees her at the door and gets off the phone with Brooks. Jen asks her, did you really have anything to do with that? And Meredith's like, of course not. Why would I want to see, your family suffer? We see Jen in her confessional saying that I want to believe Meredith. I really do. Because if she did call the feds on me, not only did I not do it, my family will suffer from years to come. I was like, is she really saying this right now? She really has some nerve, doesn't she? Again, if Meredith called the cops, that's not a bad thing for her to do because you're the one who is scamming the elderly. Like she really don't know how the justice system work as well as the other ladies if they actually believe that Meredith has something to do with that. So now Meredith right now, all she feels is pity as Jen is right in front of her breaking down, so she gives her a hug. This sociopath really brought all this grief to herself and still is not taking any type of accountability. Like she's actually trying to gaslight the audience right now to thinking she really didn't do anything. I want to know, like, how did the feds, been investigating her all this time and will get the wrong person? That, like, it's just not likely. Even your best friend Heather knew you were doing something unsavory. And as we see Meredith and Jen hugging, you just see Mary on the bed saying, y'all gonna make me cry too. Like just seeing the three of them in the same room, Mary, Meredith, and Jen, it's just wacky to see. So then as everything calms down, we see Jen leaving the room, like her face is like a hot crying mess. And she says, we got 3 days left. And they're all laughing. And I think that is the end of the evening, y'all. So it's the next day. It looks like everyone's just getting up, from a long night. And it looks about like it's 7:30, 8 a.m. in the morning. So it's peace in the house until we see a storm of pink just running around the house with a camera running behind her. It's Meredith and she says, if you all ever bring my family into this. At this point, I'm wondering what the hell is going on. So now we get another Shonda Rhimes rewind. Oh my goodness. So we find out that sneaky Lisa was behind this blow up. So she went into Meredith's room at 3 a.m. in the morning and spilled the tea to Meredith that they were all saying that she lied about going to her father's memorial the day they went to Vail because, they thought that she was actually ratting Jen out to the feds. Ooh, Lisa, you ain't shit for that. Now, why you did that to those women? So it looks like Meredith woke up the whole house and is just talking to everybody. She's saying that you all can speculate all you want about her. Don't put her family into this. So she tells everyone that she's leaving. Whitney looks frightened. She goes into Heather's room to tell her what's going on. And then Jen comes in the same room with them too. And they're just like, what the hell is going on? It is too early in the morning. Oh my God. Rest. Like we have had 24 minutes of chaos. We really see Heather, Whitney, and Jen hiding under the covers as Meredith is just walking around the house yelling at everybody. So now we're in Meredith's room. We see her packing and she's just yelling at Lisa right now. Now she's not yelling at Lisa, but she's yelling at Lisa about the whole house right now and the lies that's going around. And Meredith, I have never seen this Meredith before. Wow. Meredith is completely unhinged right now. I don't even recognize this Meredith. I'm actually frightened for everyone in the house. I see why Heather is acting the way she is. It really is scary. And again, all this is blowing up in Lisa's face right now. Like Meredith is telling Lisa, that's what you told me last night, Lisa. And you see Detective Heather right here, just listening to the door as they talking. Now we see Lisa in her confessional defending what she just told Lisa. Like, you put a battery in that woman's back 3 a.m. in the morning and that bomb went off 5 hours later, 8 a.m. in the morning. Now, I'm sorry. If anybody in the house is like that at 8 a.m. in the morning, I'm going to be just like Jackie Christie on Basketball Wives. Let's just fight. Because it's 8 a.m. in the morning, you acting like this, and my eyes literally just opened. Oh yeah, we fighting. And then we just get the most funniest awkward moment again from Mary Cosby. So she goes upstairs to Meredith to give her an omelet. She interrupts Meredith and Lisa's like super serious conversation. And she's like, you don't want any eggs? Like, she is completely aloof to what's happening right now. So then Lisa's on the couch asking Mary, can you just give us a second, please? Mary's just standing in place eating her eggs as the two of them are just like... And then production messy ass, the music that they adding, it's just too much. Mary doesn't get it at all, so she finally leaves the room and Meredith and Lisa continue their conversation. So now Lisa asks Meredith, do you have any hostility against me? And then Meredith is being completely honest with her and says, yes, because I feel like ever since last summer, that's ever since Lisa and Jim been buddies, she says that I just feel like you've had hostility towards me since then. Lisa is then blindsided by this. Like, she can't believe Meredith would have the gall to even say that. Meredith then basically lets Lisa know that she said what she said. She's fuming hot right now and she needs a minute. So then Lisa agrees to do that, and then we cut downstairs as Heather and Jen just hurry up and scurry back to the room after they've been like ear hustling. So then a little later, we see the rest of the women in the kitchen, and racist Jenny is asking Heather what's up. She's telling her that Lisa was telling Meredith, like late at night, that we were talking about how she lied about her father's memorial, and then all the women are just like, of course, that's Lisa trying to get ahead of the narrative. Whitney clocks it, like right then and there. Like, again, Lisa, you did this. But then she always throws the rock and tries to hide her hand. So as Jenny is responding to Heather, I think Mary thought Jenny was talking shit, so then you can clearly see her scoff at what Jenny is saying. And then Heather's like, oh, Mary, that's not nice. And then Mary and Jenny get into it again. And then we see Jenny in her confessional saying why she don't like Mary. I'm not defending Jenny on this platform anymore, so whatever happens to her, happens. So then we see Lisa and Meredith into the kitchen now, and Meredith, she about to get some answers right now out of these hoes. Meredith's walking around holding that coffee cup almost to the point where it's about to break in her hand. She's like, now who is speculating in here? She looks like she's about to douse whoever admits to saying it. So Whitney then said it was just a speculation, and we said if it was true, it would be fucked up. That's all we said. And then Meredith's like, well, it's not true. So now Lisa, as well as Heather, both try to change the topic and say, can we go do the activity for the day, please? Heather's trying to calm the situation down with some bullshit, saying we should just erase all the lines in the sand and just enjoy this trip. Yeah, whatever, girl. They are not friends at all. I'm trying to figure out who are really friends in this group. We see Meredith in her confessional saying she's going to stay because her husband got her the trip and really wanted her to have a good time, so she's going to push through. So next scene, the ladies finally just get together and do this activity. I think it has to do with hiking and or mountain climbing. And you know what? I don't care. Fast forward. Well, that was fast. So now the ladies get back to the property. It's later in the evening. And now we see Jen and Whitney going door to door, making sure everybody dresses like they're going to the club tonight as they're about to eat dinner, which I guess just means they're gonna party in the living room. So now we see them at the dinner table, most of them eating to-go food that does not look appetizing at all. And Lord have mercy, we see Mary come downstairs and this hair, and Lisa has the nerve to say, oh, Mary, I love your hair. I don't know what this is. Like, her hair looked like she didn't even comb it. She just did this to it and just put like a little ribbon around it. Mary looks like she took a fork out of her kitchen and stabbed it into the nearest electrical outlet. Cause this hair, it ain't it. So this dinner is way more calm than early in the episode, and hopefully it stays that way. So Lisa apologizes to the table for her manipulating dastardly ways, and then she invites all the ladies at the table to her Vita event that's coming up, and I think it's like going to be an 80s theme. So Jen Shaw finally comes downstairs, looking a tacky mess with these marachas again, Lord. So then she sits down, we see Mary is talking to Jenny and decides to apologize to her. Jenny says she's just going to accept Mary's apology to keep the peace, and then we cut to her in her confessional talking about how she had anger issues at one point and how she broke her husband's ribs in a fit of rage. I would have kept that story to myself. Let's just say that. Oh, so now everybody is getting along. Okay. They're playing this game tonight. So now we see the ladies going downstairs and they're just going to have a club night in the living room. It looks like there's like a pole or whatever. They're all getting drunk and dancing. And look at Meredith by the stripper pole. I am very surprised by this. So now we see it's even more later in the evening and most of the ladies are outside in their bikinis by the pool continuing the night of drinking. They really all just acting like yesterday just did not happen. Like they were all yelling at each other. Meredith thought all these women weren't her friends. Jen was just yelling at Lisa and Jenny. It's as if none of it ever happened. So then we cut to the next morning. We just see nothing but bottles and dirty towels everywhere. And then we're in somebody's room where there's two beds. In one bed, it's Meredith and Lisa. In the other bed, it is Jen and Whitney. What a combination in one room after all that's been happening on this episode. And then we see Meredith in a much better mood than she was the last morning. At 8 a.m., they all look awful and clearly hungover. And they are all just in the room laughing together like old friends. Child, so now they just end the episode with everybody downstairs for breakfast, talking about how wild the other night was. They all just laughing and kikiing as if like the first part of this episode just didn't exist. So now I'm guessing next week is gonna be more fussing and fighting. I cannot believe we are not at the season finale yet. It's also really hard to review this, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with how Bravo and Andy Cohen is acting right now. Like y'all already saw on Watch What Happens Live, that was pre-recorded. Since when are Sunday nights pre-recorded? Clearly, I mean, it's all calculated. Andy's cross-eyed ass. I'll talk about it a little bit more in depth on my Patreon. Go check that out, patreon.com/cdiggy1, where I'm doing hot topics we ain't covering on Pop Bros. But all in all, I will say I was entertained this episode. It's just a lot of what the fuckery is going on. It's just a lot of chaos. Anywho, with that, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for Real Housewives of Miami. Bye.